For the last 65 days of their strike, the doctors have held on to their demand that the 2013 CBA be implemented as the only way out of the nationwide strike. Today, the Senate's Health Committee was adding to the voices calling on the doctors to soften their stand.
My appeal to you is soften a little. And I'm giving you this appeal also as an older brother to you. Do not hang and say, unless it is the CBA, to the point, no discussion.
Just as directed by the courts, it will be important you go back to the negotiating table and look at the minimum things you really want to achieve. Let's break the deadlock.
The pleas from the Senate committee seem to have struck a chord with the doctors.
We are not willing to go and supervise that. So we are willing to compromise. It's time for compromise, but it is time for compromise as long as the government also is willing to compromise.
The doctors told the committee of their frustrations on the negotiating table since they started agitating for the implementation of the 2013 CBA. The doctors and the government have held a number of meetings, but the doctors maintain that the government's lack of honesty has always been the undoing every time.
In terms of engaging based on this collective bargaining agreement, let me state here that we would not take 2 or 3 days to solve this problem if the basis of engagement was the collective bargaining agreement 2013, which is the dispute the doctors have put before this country.
What we faced in the past 60 days is mainly manipulation, dishonesty, and arm twisting, together with intimidation of the officials who are seated right before you and others, in an attempt to force us into accepting some deals that are far, that are a departure from what we presented.
The efforts from the Senate come amidst an ongoing court-ordered mediation led by KOTU and the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights to end the strike by the end of this week. That process has already begun with a meeting taking place between the doctors and KOTU, where the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights has asked that both sides of the dispute append their signatures to the Rules of Engagement document to kickstart the talks. According to sources privy to the meeting between KOTU and the doctors, the parties involved are asking that the Ministry of Health and the Council of Governors be co-opted into the talks, which they insist should be viewed strictly as mediation and not arbitration. At the same time, they want the talks to be carried out in good faith and trust based on the issues raised in the CBA of 2013. The amendments to that CBA should be attached to the original document that will come out of the talks and be registered in court. While the Senate's Health Committee may not have the powers to directly influence the outcome of the talks between the doctors' union and the government regarding the strikes, their engagement is one of the most optimistic yet, and many will be praying and hoping that it translates to other talks that are currently ongoing, trying to get an end to this stalemate that has now lasted well over 65 days. Brenda, Wanga, NTV, Nairobi.